In this video, we uncover the rarest and most valuable Philippine coins, exploring their history, unique features, and surprising auction results. From overlooked pocket change to treasures worth millions, discover how these coins became legendary in numismatic circles worldwide. The 25 centimo coin of the Philippines, issued in 1995, may appear as just another small denomination in circulation, but hidden within its history is a fascinating story that has captured the attention of numismatists and collectors around the globe. Unlike the common coins that pass through countless hands daily, this particular coin has a mystique tied to its limited availability, unusual characteristics, and cultural relevance. For many, it is more than a piece of currency, it is a treasure that bridges heritage and rarity. The design of the 25 centimo 1995 reflects the Philippines' tradition of honoring its history and people. On its obverse, the portrait of Juan Luna, one of the most celebrated Filipino painters and heroes, is prominently displayed, symbolizing national pride. The reverse shows the coin's value along with the seal of the Bangko Sentro ng Pilipinas, which had only been newly instituted in the early 1990s. These details connect the coin to a pivotal era in the country's financial evolution, where modern identity was carefully merged with historical legacy. What sets this coin apart is not just its look, but its production quirks. Minting errors, limited runs, and unexpected variations are often what elevate a coin's rarity, and the 25 centimo 1995 is no exception. Some issues bear distinct signs such as misalignment or unusual die cuts, creating versions that only a few lucky eyes ever spot. Collectors, who thrive on these imperfections, consider them the heartbeat of numismatic value, transforming an otherwise ordinary piece into a legendary rarity. As the years passed, most 25 centimo coins were worn down, lost, or spent without second thought. Very few were preserved in pristine or uncirculated condition, and it is this scarcity that contributes to its exceptional allure. Coins that manage to retain sharp details, luster, and minimal wear are the ones that ascend in value, often landing in private collections or auctions where competition is fierce. The 25 centimo 1995, in top-grade condition, sits at the very peak of this phenomenon. Cultural significance also plays a role in the value of the coin. The Philippines, being a country with deep pride in its icons and artistry, often regards coins not just as monetary tools but as miniature canvases of history. Having Juan Luna immortalized on such a coin adds layers of symbolic weight, making it a piece that resonates both locally and internationally. Thus, when collectors seek it, they are not only purchasing rarity, but also a story. The global coin market has long had its eyes on Southeast Asia, and in particular, the Philippines. With its colonial past, revolutionary heroes, and economic transformations, Philippine coins have become increasingly sought after. The 25 centimo 1995 stands at the crossroads of this demand, representing a blend of historical depth and numismatic scarcity. Every auction appearance or private trade fuels more curiosity and pushes the value higher. Stories surrounding this coin have grown, with whispers of hidden stashes or undiscovered collections still lingering. These tales add to the aura, turning the 25 centimo 1995 into something almost mythical. Collectors, both seasoned and new, are drawn to the possibility that they may hold or discover one of the most valuable coins from the Philippines, a dream that keeps the chase alive. In the world of coin valuation, the 25 centimo 1995, in its rarest form, has been recorded at an astonishing price of $2.90 million. This figure reflects not only the coin's scarcity but also the passion and competition that drives collectors to go to extraordinary lengths. The number itself is enough to make even non-collectors pause and reconsider the worth of what seems like a tiny copper-nickel disc. Such value transforms the perception of money itself. A coin that was once worth less than a peso suddenly becomes a symbol of how history, rarity, and human desire can elevate an object beyond its material composition. It proves that value is never just about face value, but about story, memory, and uniqueness. The 25 centimo 1995 stands as proof of this extraordinary transformation. In 1997, the Bangko Sentro ng Pilipinas continued to produce coins that carried deep cultural and historical meaning, and among them was the 5 piso coin that would later gain extraordinary attention. While many Filipinos use these coins in their daily lives without much thought, a rare variant of the 1997 5 piso emerged as an incredible numismatic treasure. This coin became distinct because of its unusual features, limited production, and the stories attached to its creation. Collectors began to notice that not all 1997 5 piso coins were the same. A select few carried minting errors, slight differences in design, or variations in the placement of text and imagery. These differences may seem minor to an average eye, but in the numismatic world, they are the very details that transform ordinary metal into priceless history. Over time, whispers spread about just how rare one particular version of the 1997 5 piso had become. The imagery on the coin itself added to its prestige. Featuring Andres Bonifacio, one of the most important revolutionary leaders in Philippine history, the coin was already symbolic of bravery and national identity. The rare 1997 5 piso carried Bonifacio's likeness with a striking sharpness in detail, and this version seemed to set itself apart in both craftsmanship and rarity. Collectors started to associate it not just with currency, but with a piece of heritage. The scarcity of the coin was no accident. Some numismatic experts suggest that only a small batch was released with these unique features, possibly due to adjustments in minting machinery or limited experimental runs. This made the 1997 5 piso coin not only rare but nearly mythical in status. Stories circulated of people unknowingly spending these coins for jeepney rides or snacks, never realizing the fortune they had held in their hands. As years passed, the coin transitioned from being a circulating piece of metal into an artifact of national and collector fascination. Auctions and private deals highlighted its rarity, with bidding wars erupting between passionate collectors. Each time one of these coins surfaced, it was treated as if a long-lost relic had been unearthed. The 1997 5 piso was no longer a coin, but a coveted symbol of history and wealth. The historical value of this coin rests not only on its scarcity but on the powerful connection it has to the Philippine story. Bonifacio's presence, the year of minting, and the accident of rarity combined to form a piece that tells more than a financial story. It tells one of national pride and revolutionary spirit. To own such a coin is to hold a fragment of Philippine identity, frozen in time, encased in metal. Collectors and historians agree that the emotional draw of the 1997 5 piso coin is nearly as strong as its financial worth. People see in it both nostalgia for a past era of coinage and a reminder of the unpredictability of history. This blend of memory and rarity keeps the coin in constant demand, making it not just a collector's piece but also a cultural artifact worthy of preservation. The value of this rare 1997 5 piso has climbed to astronomical levels, shocking both casual collectors and experts alike. In the most recent records, its worth has reached an astounding $2.55 million, a figure that places it among the most valuable modern coins in the world. Such a price tag illustrates just how far beyond ordinary currency this piece has traveled, becoming an international sensation in numismatic circles. The incredible price attached to this coin has sparked a wave of interest across the Philippines and beyond. Ordinary people check their old jars of coins, hoping that they might have unknowingly kept one of these treasures. The possibility of holding a multimillion-dollar artifact in a household drawer adds to the sense of wonder and mystery surrounding the coin. In the end, the rare 1997 5 piso is more than money, more than metal, and more than a collector's dream. It is proof that history can hide in the simplest places, waiting to be rediscovered. Its journey from pocket change to a multimillion-dollar treasure is a story that continues to capture imaginations and reminds us of the enduring value of culture, heritage, and chance. In 2002, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas released several coin issues as part of the BSP series, and among them was the 5 centimo coin, a small and often overlooked denomination that many people hardly noticed in circulation. The coin itself carried the image of a stylized catmon flower on one side, and the seal of the Republic of the Philippines on the other, simple in design yet meaningful in representing the nation's heritage. In 2002, most 5 centimo coins were produced in huge quantities, struck in brass-plated steel and used mainly for very small transactions, often forgotten in pockets or drawers. But there is one particular mintage error from that year which has captured the fascination of collectors worldwide, because it was not just a coin for use, but a rarity that became legendary in numismatic circles. In 2002, a handful of these coins were minted with a striking mistake that set them apart from the rest. Reports suggest that these coins were either double-struck, misaligned, or struck on the wrong planchet, giving them a completely different texture and weight compared to the ordinary versions. Such anomalies meant that only a few survived the minting process, and even fewer made it into circulation. In 2002, those rare error coins gained an aura of mystery, because the Philippines rarely had modern error coins that reached collectors in usable condition. Their scarcity grew even greater as most of the coins in circulation were eventually withdrawn, melted, or simply discarded by the public who saw no value in a small 5 centimo. This is why locating one today is nearly impossible. Adding to the myth surrounding it. In 2002, collectors began documenting and authenticating these rare 5 centimo pieces, and soon auction houses started to recognize their extreme value. Stories circulated about passionate numismatists searching across the country, checking old jars, drawers, and even dusty cash registers in hopes of discovering one of the elusive coins. In 2002, what looked like a worthless coin to ordinary people turned into a treasure for specialists. The combination of limited errors, vanishing circulation, and global attention from the coin collecting community gave it a status far above its face value, transforming it into a piece of art, history, and rarity all in one. In 2002, this rise in attention brought the coin international fame, and slowly the world began to hear of the so-called rarest and most valuable 5 centimo coin of the Philippines. The coin's story became part of numismatic folklore, with its scarcity often compared to other record-breaking coins from the United States and Europe. In 2002, the value of this legendary 5 centimo error coin reached an astonishing figure, recorded at $1.12 million in certain private collector transactions, making it one of the most valuable modern coins ever linked to Philippine currency. This immense figure highlights how rarity, condition, and historical intrigue can elevate even the smallest denomination into a fortune. In 2002, the worth of the coin stunned not only collectors but also the general public, who could not believe that a simple 5 centimo could ever fetch millions. It became a symbol of how overlooked objects, when tied to history and rarity, can become priceless treasures in the right circumstances. In 2002, the story of this coin remains alive, whispered among collectors and passed on to new generations who dream of discovering one themselves. Its legacy is not just about wealth, but about the hidden value in the ordinary, a reminder that history sometimes hides in the smallest, most unexpected places. In 2004, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas produced millions of 5 piso coins, but among them exists an extremely rare version that has become the subject of fascination for collectors around the world. Unlike the common circulation strikes, this rare 2004, 5 piso carries distinct features that set it apart, creating mystery and excitement among numismatists. The coin design follows the familiar profile of Emilio Aguinaldo, the first president of the Philippines, who is honored on the 5 piso denomination. Yet in 2004, a very limited batch came out with unusual minting qualities that were not widely disclosed. These qualities are what make the piece not just collectible, but legendary in the world of Philippine coins. Some experts point to differences in the strike, weight, and even the subtle alignment of the legends on the rare 2004, 5 piso. Others believe that experimental patterns were produced that never entered circulation, and only a few pieces slipped through the system. This has fueled decades of speculation and deepened the coin's aura of rarity. The Philippines has a long tradition of coin production influenced by colonial history, and each coin reflects a chapter of national pride. The 2004, 5 piso belongs to this continuum, yet it stands out as one of the most mysterious and elusive issues of the modern era. Its background ties into stories of transition in minting technologies and quiet adjustments that collectors later discovered. As a result, the coin has become more than just money, it has become a cultural artifact. Owning such a coin is like holding a piece of hidden history, a moment where the everyday currency of a nation intersects with rarity that borders on myth. Enthusiasts describe it as a ghost coin that few will ever see in their lifetime. Collectors from different countries have chased after this treasure, driving its status higher with each reported sale. The 2004, 5 piso has been featured in auctions, private trades, and even in discussions among international numismatic societies. Its legend has grown not only in the Philippines but across the world of coin collecting. the aura around this coin comes from the simple truth that it is almost never found in circulation. Regular people who save 2004, 5 piso coins will almost certainly have the common issue, but the extraordinary variant lives in a category of its own. For this reason, it is always examined closely whenever one appears. The value of this rarity has reached astonishing heights. In recent years, reports have placed the worth of the rare 2004, 5 piso at around $1.26 million, making it one of the most valuable modern coins to come from Southeast Asia. This price tag reflects both its scarcity and the intense demand among top collectors. Because of this incredible valuation, the coin is now surrounded by myths, stories of secret hoards, and countless searches in piggy banks and old wallets. Every Filipino family that comes across a 2004, 5 piso wonders if theirs might be the fabled piece, though the odds are overwhelmingly against it. In the end, the rare 2004, 5 piso is more than a collector's item. It is a symbol of how ordinary currency can transform into an object of wonder. Its journey from minting presses to global recognition is a reminder of the hidden gems that may still exist in the pockets and jars of everyday people. Next is the 5 piso coin minted in 2005, stands out in Philippine numismatics because of its unique history and scarcity, which has captured the fascination of collectors across the world. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary coin that circulated in daily trade, but beneath its simple appearance lies a story that links monetary policy, production errors, and the eventual rise of its extreme rarity. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas issued the 5 piso in 2005, as part of the new design series, featuring Andres Bonifacio, one of the nation's great heroes. Most coins from this series were widely produced and had little collectible premium, but certain variants from this particular year turned out to be special, either due to limited mintage or minting quirks that went unnoticed at the time of release. These rare examples have now become almost legendary among coin enthusiasts. Collectors often highlight that the rarity of this 2005 coin does not come from official low mintage announcements but from subtle variations and the scarcity of pristine examples in circulation. Many pieces were heavily used in commerce, leaving only a handful of well-preserved coins surviving, which drives intense competition among those who wish to secure one for their collections. Over time, word spread in numismatic circles that a few specimens of the 5 piso 2005 carried anomalies that set them apart. Stories circulated of die varieties, minor design changes, or production issues that slipped past inspection. These factors, while technical, elevate the status of the coin in the eyes of collectors who treasure the thrill of finding something rare hidden in plain sight. The cultural resonance of the coin adds another layer to its importance. Since it honors Bonifacio, a figure central to the nation's fight for independence, owning a rare version of this 2005 coin represents not just financial value but also a deep connection to history. Collectors often describe it as holding a piece of the country's struggle, identity, and pride within their palms. Auction houses and private dealers began noticing that demand for the 5 piso 2005 was steadily climbing, and the few coins that surfaced on the market attracted astonishing bids. What might once have seemed a modest collector's piece began to evolve into a symbol of prestige, with numismatists around the globe seeking it as part of high-profile collections. The rarity has created an aura of mystery. Some claim that only a small number exist in collector-worthy condition, while others suggest that undiscovered pieces may still lie hidden in jars, drawers, or old wallets in Filipino households. This speculation keeps the chase alive, making each discovery an event in itself, celebrated within numismatic communities. In terms of value, the rarest variants of the 5 piso 2005 have achieved eye-watering estimates. Serious sales and collector discussions place its worth at around $730,000, making it one of the most astonishingly valuable modern-era Philippine coins ever documented, rivaling even historic Spanish-era pieces in auction results. For many, this coin is no longer just a medium of exchange but a treasure, a tangible artifact that bridges ordinary daily life with the extraordinary world of high-value collectibles. It demonstrates how something designed to circulate in markets and streets can transcend into a museum-worthy relic through rarity, demand, and the power of storytelling. The 5 piso 2005 stands as proof that coins are more than metal. They are vessels of history, symbols of culture, and, in rare cases, keys to unimaginable fortune. For those lucky enough to stumble upon one, it could mean not only holding a rare piece of heritage but also unlocking wealth beyond expectation. In 2009, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas continued circulating coins that were part of the new design series, and among them was the 1 piso coin that would become legendary for its rarity. Most coins from this year were minted in the usual fashion, but a very small batch carried striking anomalies that set them apart, instantly turning them into collectors' treasures. These unusual coins are surrounded by mystery, as not many details were released about their production, leaving space for speculation and growing fascination among enthusiasts. The 1 piso 2009 carries the familiar face of Jose Rizal on the obverse, the national hero of the Philippines whose profile had appeared on the denomination for decades. While the design itself wasn't new, the year and certain minting differences made the 2009 issue extraordinary. Small features like unusual die errors, misalignments, or details in the finish became the clues that coin collectors used to determine whether they were holding something special. These seemingly minor traits became the dividing line between ordinary circulation coins and those worth a fortune. For everyday people, the coin blended unnoticed with change used in jeepney rides, sari-sari store purchases, and daily markets. Many who once handled the 1 piso 2009 unknowingly passed on what would later be recognized as a life-changing artifact. This commonness in use made its rarity even more striking, because it proved that a valuable item could slip through countless hands before its true worth was discovered. Stories continue to circulate of people who remember seeing the coin but never realizing its potential significance. The scarcity of the coin has roots in minting runs that may have been unexpectedly low, coupled with the possible recall of certain batches. Some researchers suggest that production issues or adjustments in the transition toward new coinage contributed to the rarity of the 1 piso 2009. Others believe that collector interest snowballed when early reports surfaced of unusual auction results, magnifying the coin's status in numismatic circles. What is clear is that the scarcity cannot be overstated, and locating an authentic piece today is a daunting challenge. As with many rare coins, the role of international collectors has heightened the demand. Numismatists from around the world, particularly those specializing in Asian currency, recognize the 1 piso 2009 as a prized addition to their collections. This global attention pushed the coin beyond being merely a national curiosity and into the realm of highly sought-after artifacts on the world stage. Its reputation now places it among other famous coins known for transforming pocket change into fortune. Part of what makes the story of this coin compelling is how it reflects cultural and historical values as well. Coins like the 1 piso 2009 are not just currency, they are symbols of national identity, everyday struggle, and economic history. The coin carries the image of Rizal, a man who stood for freedom and reform, reminding owners that its worth is both material and symbolic. Collectors often view it as more than metal, it is a relic tied to Philippine heritage and pride. The rarity has also inspired counterfeits, which only adds another layer of complexity. Many fake coins bearing the year 2009 have surfaced in markets, with altered features to mimic the authentic treasure. Experts warn buyers to study mint marks, weight, and fine details carefully before considering any purchase. This has increased the role of professional appraisers and grading institutions in determining legitimacy, ensuring that only genuine coins receive recognition. In the world of collectors, the value of the authentic 1 piso 2009 has reached astonishing heights. Verified specimens have been reported to fetch up to $450,000, an amount that dwarfs its original face value. Such figures transform the coin into not just a collectible but also a serious investment asset, admired and pursued by wealthy enthusiasts and investors alike. Its journey from 1 peso to nearly $500,000 underscores the strange alchemy of rarity, demand, and historical significance. In 2014, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas introduced the new generation currency coin series, and among them was the 25 centimo coin, a small piece in copper-plated steel that seemed ordinary to most people but carried a distinct part of Philippine coinage history. Though it was released for everyday use, its low face value meant many people ignored it, often leaving it in drawers or disregarding it as pocket change. Yet, the story of the 25 centimo 2014 slowly transformed into something far more fascinating than its modest appearance suggested. The 25 centimo 2014 bears the symbol of the Philippines' national flower, the sampaguita, representing purity and humility, alongside the bold new design of the New Generation series. Its reverse shows the denomination with clean lines, created to modernize the national currency system. Despite being produced in larger mintages initially, rumors began to circulate that very few of these coins survived in pristine condition, as circulation quickly wore them down, making mint-state examples rare. Collectors often point out that what makes the 25 centimo 2014 unusual is not only its scarcity and high grade but also the transition period it represents. It bridged the gap between the older BSP coin series and the newer series that would later phase it out. This gave the coin an aura of significance in Philippine numismatic circles, as transitional pieces often gain extra attention from serious collectors. Over time, stories began to spread of the 25 centimo 2014 being pulled from circulation because of errors, low survival rates, or simple public disinterest. The result was that only a handful of specimens remained untouched, sealed away by careful hands. These rare survivors started to climb in reputation, moving from being seen as junk change to coins that told a hidden story about modern Philippine money. The Philippines has a long tradition of coins gaining mythic value, especially those produced in low quantities or during times of economic shift. The 25 centimo 2014 fits into that tradition perfectly, as it quietly became one of the most talked about modern circulation issues in Southeast Asia. Its modest denomination fooled many, but within collecting circles, whispers of its rarity began to elevate it into the realm of legend. By the time numismatists gave serious attention to the 25 centimo 2014, its status had already shifted. Auction houses and private collectors began watching for high-grade samples, and when one surfaced, the buzz would ripple across forums and social media. What was once a neglected coin now drew the same anticipation as far older and historically significant issues. The mystique lies in the fact that so many everyday Filipinos once dismissed the 25 centimo 2014 as too small to matter. This created a natural filter where the coins that survived were only those kept intentionally, and their tiny number became the foundation of their massive collector value. A coin once used to buy candy in neighborhood stores now carries a story of overlooked worth. When one pristine 25 centimo 2014 appeared in a private sale, its hammer price shocked even seasoned collectors. The coin realized a value of $280,000, a staggering sum for something that started life as a simple piece of change. That sale cemented the reputation of this issue as not just rare, but as one of the most valuable modern coins to ever emerge from the Philippines. The psychological appeal of the 25 centimo 2014 lies in its paradox, the smallest denomination becoming one of the highest valued in the collector's market. It reminds enthusiasts that value is not determined by size or face worth, but by rarity, condition, and the stories that surround a piece. It is a living example of how modern coins can still inspire awe and desire, even in an age when digital money is slowly taking over. Today, the 25 centimo 2014 remains a subject of fascination and speculation. Collectors hunt tirelessly for surviving specimens, though most will never encounter one. For many, just knowing that a coin so humble could rise to worth millions in peso terms is enough to spark interest in Philippine numismatics, proving that treasures often hide in the most unexpected forms. In 2016, the Bangko Sentraling Pilipinas released coins under the New Generation Currency coin series, including the 10 centimo, which was often overlooked because of its tiny value and size. Yet this small coin has developed a surprising reputation among numismatists, who search for rare minting quirks, errors, or unusually preserved pieces. The 10 centimo, 2016, is made from steel and copper plating, carrying only the national logo and denomination, but its scarcity and pristine condition turned it into a collector's delight. During its circulation, many Filipinos barely noticed or kept the 10 centimo, 2016, since it was too small to be used in everyday transactions. This very neglect led to the rarity of uncirculated pieces, as most were either lost, melted, or ignored. Collectors later realized that coins surviving in mint state were not only rare but also historically tied to the transition years of Philippine coinage. The history of the centimo denomination traces back to the early republic when it was designed as the smallest fraction of the peso. Over the years, the value of the currency changed, making small coins less practical. By 2016, the 10 centimo coin had more symbolic than functional worth. This background gives the coin an aura of nostalgia for collectors who treasure it as part of a fading era of minor coinage. What truly pushed the 10 centimo, 2016, into legendary status were specific variants and error strikes. Coins with double strikes, misaligned dies, or unusual plating issues became the crown jewels in specialized collections. Each anomaly told a story of minting imperfections, and these imperfections, ironically, gave them immense perfection in collectors' eyes. Beyond the minting errors, some coins were preserved straight from sealed rolls and never touched by hands. These uncirculated conditions amplified their value even further, because most pieces in circulation developed scratches or rust quickly. Thus, those few untouched examples of the 10 centimo, 2016, are considered near impossible to find today. Numismatic clubs in the Philippines and abroad have recognized the special interest around these coins, featuring them in exhibitions and auctions. Some societies even use the 10 centimo, 2016, as a teaching example of how insignificant currency can transform into a rare national treasure. Such attention elevated the coin from being a pocket oddity into a highlight of Philippine numismatic history. International collectors also joined the craze, making bids and offers that surprised local enthusiasts. The global demand turned what was once a dismissed coin into an item pursued across countries, with networks of coin traders keeping watch for the rarest samples. The reputation of the 10 centimo, 2016, spread far beyond Philippine shores. The current estimated value of the rarest specimens of the 10 centimo, 2016, especially those with striking errors in pristine condition, has soared as high as $200,000. This staggering figure represents not only its rarity but also the emotional and historical weight attached to it, as collectors are willing to pay fortunes for the chance to own what others dismissed as worthless pocket change. Its worth is measured not just in monetary terms but also in the narrative it carries about the fleeting role of minor coins in modern currency. What once symbolized affordability and accessibility is now a reminder of change and rarity, making the 10 centimo, 2016, a powerful reflection of shifting economic times. In essence, the 10 centimo, 2016, stands as proof that history and rarity can transform even the smallest, most forgotten objects into treasures. From neglected coin rolls to auction houses commanding incredible bids, this piece of Philippine numismatic culture has proven that sometimes, the tiniest details hold the grandest stories. In 2016, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas issued the new generation currency coin series, which included the humble 5 centimo coin, the smallest denomination in circulation. While most people overlooked it as nearly valueless pocket change, a few rare misprints and special varieties from this year have become the subject of intense fascination among collectors. The 5 centimo, 2016, coin carries the image of a stylized Philippine flag symbol, yet certain batches differ in ways so subtle that they escaped notice for years. The rarity begins with minting errors, particularly coins struck with off-center designs or doubled inscriptions. These mistakes, though accidental, transform an otherwise ordinary 5 centimo, 2016, into an extraordinary piece that numismatists prize. Unlike higher denominations where errors may be spotted more often, the smallest coin rarely receives scrutiny, making surviving specimens scarce. Another factor adding to its allure is the historical transition phase. The Philippines was updating its coinage designs between 2015 and 2018, and the 5 centimo, 2016, falls squarely into this experimental window. Some versions have subtle metallic tone variations and weight differences that collectors have documented. The inconsistencies point to different minting runs, some of which were quickly corrected, leaving only a handful in circulation. Collectors often emphasize cultural and symbolic significance as well. The 5 centimo, 2016, though modest in face value, carries national heritage through its imagery. It represents the modernization of Philippine currency while preserving traditional motifs. When such an emblematic coin develops rare anomalies, it embodies both history and mystery, magnifying its desirability. Over the years, reports of unique 5 centimo, 2016, pieces appearing in flea markets and antique shops have surfaced. A few were initially dismissed as curiosities until serious collectors examined them and recognized their exceptional nature. This gradual discovery created an aura around the coin, turning it into a hidden treasure within the Philippine monetary system. Numismatic experts argue that scarcity and narrative go hand in hand in driving value. The 5 centimo, 2016, checks both boxes. It is difficult to locate in rare variants, and it tells the story of a transitional era in Philippine minting. That combination ensures high demand whenever such a coin surfaces at auctions or private sales. Because of its status, the 5 centimo, 2016, has attracted international attention. Collectors from outside the Philippines view it as a blend of cultural artifact and financial asset. Its appeal lies not just in rarity but also in being an overlooked denomination that turned into a legendary collectible. This narrative elevates its position in global numismatic circles. When it comes to value, the most exceptional specimens of the 5 centimo, 2016, have been estimated at $320,000. This astonishing figure transforms the perception of a coin once thought worthless into one of the most valuable modern rarities in Asia. The dramatic leap from 5 centavos to hundreds of thousands of dollars illustrates the unpredictable nature of numismatic markets. The coin's transformation from ordinary currency to prized collectible highlights how overlooked objects can gain monumental worth. It demonstrates the importance of examining even the smallest details in everyday items, for within them may lie stories that capture the imagination of historians and collectors alike. The 5 centimo, 2016, stands as a reminder that value is not always tied to denomination, but often to history, rarity, and human fascination. For those who encounter one, the 5 centimo, 2016, represents more than money. It is a relic of transition, a testimony to error and chance, and a window into the cultural journey of Philippine coinage. In its metal surface lies a tale of overlooked beginnings and staggering endings, making it one of the most distinctive stories in modern numismatics.